All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Let's just get started and I'll introduce myself. My name is Jessica Boafo, and I am the Executive Assistant and Communication Coordinator at the Rehabilitation Sciences Institute, which I will be telling you more about today. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So the Rehabilitation Sciences Institute, or RSI in short, is a graduate research program within Temerty Medicine here at the University of Toronto. And at RSI, we truly strive to integrate research across many scientific disciplines, focus on understanding and enhancing human function and participation in family, community, and society, and its relationship to health and well-being. So what does that mean? Essentially, what I like to tell people, especially when it comes to just our program, our institute, or the field of rehab science in general, is that rehabilitation science is multidisciplinary. And hopefully you'll get a sense of what that means as we go further along in the presentation. So here we are for the question you all are probably asking, why should you pursue a degree at RSI? So for one, we're the best. And I'm not just saying that to toot our own horn. It's been acknowledged, including by the Center of World University Rankings, which ranked us #1 in the field. And I think that a huge contributing factor to that is really our strong network with some of the top affiliated hospitals and medical institutions recognized here in the city of Toronto, but also in the country. So if you look at the image with the wheel, we have a couple here. So Kite UHN, Toronto Rehab, Holland Bloorview. What else could I mention? Baycrest, CAMH, Sinai Health, Sunnybrook, the list goes on and on. And among that network is also the rehab sector departments. So where we're housed in the University of Toronto is the Rehabilitation Sciences Building at 500 University. And there we're also housed with the other rehab clinical programs, which include physical therapy, occupational science, and occupational therapy, and speech language pathology. And there, the administrative teams work collaboratively to, give the best education to the students, whether it's clinically or through research. So on that note, why don't we continue on what some of our strengths are? Definitely have to mention our faculty. RSI currently has just over 100 cross-appointed faculty that come from several different disciplines and departments within Temerty Medicine and University. Our research program and infrastructure, I think we were one of the very fortunate programs that were able to strive through the pandemic. And I think that a lot of that contributes to our structure. For instance, we were very easily able to apply our program to an online nature, and then also just the strong support from our supervisors and students. As mentioned, our exceptional hospital community partnerships, our interdisciplinary focus, I'm sure you can sense the theme by now. We also offer quite a few collaborative programs in which students can elect to participate during their programming at RSI, which we'll speak about a little bit later. Also in that is our high student satisfaction. Of course, just the several student resources that the University of Toronto provides, and also our just outstanding student and alumni peer network, which we'll also touch more upon later. So we were talking about faculty being one of our strengths, and so I thought I'd give you a bit of a snippet of some of our faculty and some of their accomplishments within the past few years. As you can see on the slide, one of them being is Dr. Angela Colantonio, who is our current director for the Institute. So as I mentioned, our faculty being cross-appointment, they belong to several departments, including medicine, nursing, engineering, kinesiology, physical education, Atlanta School of Public Health. The list really does go on and on. And we like to think that we also get the top scientists and researchers in their field as acknowledged by their multiple awards nationally and internationally, but also recognized here at Temerty Medicine. We're proud to mention that we've won the Medicine Mentorship Award 6 consecutive years in a row. And that might not mean much to you, but it means a lot to us considering Temerty Medicine has about just over 10,000 members. So we take that very highly. So in all, why you should pursue a degree at RSI, the possibilities for research, interdisciplinary learning, and knowledge translation are vast. And I'm sure at this point you can say that's an understatement. So what degrees do we offer here? Being a graduate program, of course, we offer a master's degree and also a doctorate of philosophy, both in rehabilitation sciences. And with that, RSI can provide knowledge and expertise in the following 6 identified fields, as you can see on the screen. Now, as I've tried to iterate throughout this presentation, because rehabilitation science is so multidisciplinary, I can assure you that the fields of study do definitely extend beyond this 6, although we've tried to encapsulate what we do here to the best of our ability. It does go quite a bit beyond. So for instance, just with the pandemic and other social factors, mental health is kind of ongoing in terms of these fields, and they definitely cross and intersect with amongst these fields. So you're really getting a whole view of all of our fields of study. All right, so we did mention previously that with being an RSI, you do have option to elect to some of our collaborative programs, and we are currently associated with the 11 seen on the screen. So it's great, again, to really emphasize that interdisciplinary learning. You know, you may have a set topic and research in mind, but maybe you need more of that bioethics lens to kind of really fully flesh out what it is that you're doing. So we provide that learning from these 11 programs currently. And we also, students also have access to the Center of Critical Qualitative Health Research course series, which is a teaching and research unit based at the university that functions as the intellectual home and resource for critical qualitative researchers. So now you're thinking of applying. So what is it that you can do to maximize your chance of admissions? So number one, should it come as a surprise, marks. I think every graduate program will say the same thing. And of course, the higher, the better. But at RSI, we do require a minimum of A-. Number two, which I think is just as important as number one, is your supervisor. RSI does require you to identify a supervisor prior to admission. So it's important to get started early there. Number three, of course, highlighting any research experience. So if you have any written publications from undergrad or have experience in presenting at conferences, you do want to highlight that. Funding, of course, at number four. Once again, we do require students to come with funding. And so there are a couple of ways you can do that. One of them being the supervisor, which is very important to identify that quickly. But we also offer some departmental awards, and we also encourage you to look into applying to some of the grants, scholarships offered by the university, which is highlighted on our website, on our admissions and upcoming awards pages. And of course, number five, just accurately filling out the application. So putting your best foot forward, that means, you know, a compelling letter of intent and choosing your references wisely. So when are applications due? RSI actually has 2 deadlines for admissions. So for domestic students this year, it's January 6th, and then we have another one in the spring, which is May 15th. For international students, it's a little earlier at December 15th. But you can get more details on this on our website on our Apply Now page. And all of these admission deadlines are for start date of fall 2022. So again, we mentioned the application process is one of the ways you can kind of get ahead to ensure your acceptance into RSI. So that includes getting your official transcripts in. We normally request those to be mailed in office, but during the pandemic, we had some institutions email them directly to the department. So it's important to speak to your previous institutions to see early to make sure that they can get that in on time. Of course, you want an updated CV and really highlighting again that research productivity. We are a research program after all. And then you want your 2 letters of reference. And then you really want to choose someone who can really comment on your ability as an academic and researcher there. We've mentioned this a couple times, your letter of intent. Why is it that you think you're a good fit for our program? And this is really where you can highlight your initiative and mention any faculty members that you've spoken to about potentially taking you on as a student. And then, of course, I also mentioned previously is a support letter from a potential supervisor who is indicating financial support and can confirm supervising you once you've applied and gone into the program. And last but not least, I thought I'd end off the presentation by talking about what's next. So you're interested in RSI, but what can RSI provide you in terms of a career path? And I thought the best way to do that is to showcase some of what our graduates have been doing. So here we have a sample of 3 of our alumni, Dr. James Tung and Dr. Jackie Schleifer-Taylor, who both graduated from our PhD program. And just take note of their titles. Dr. Tung is an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical and Mechatronics Engineering at the University of Waterloo. And Jackie Schleifer-Taylor is interim president and CEO of London Health Science Centre. And then, of course, I've also highlighted Heather McPherson, who graduated from our MSc program, and she's president and chief executive officer at Women's College Hospital. The reason why we chose these alumni to showcase in particular is just to demonstrate with the interdisciplinary learning that you get at our side also applies into your options into your career path. As of late, you've seen like an ongoing trend of our students actually pursuing careers outside of academia and research. And that includes, administrative work, educational sector, government, business, leadership roles. So, when we say we have an interdisciplinary focus, it really does extend not from just our, programming and education, but also in your career paths as well. So there is a lot of options on which you can use your degree at RSI for. And so with that, I think we've kind of summed it up, and we're going to leave the floor open for any questions. I also have Diane Wilshire on the call, who's our business officer, who's just here to help facilitate any questions anyone might have on the floor. So I guess I will leave it open for anyone who has any additional questions.
Yeah, if you can put your questions in the Q&A or the chat for Jessica or Diane.
Maybe as we wait for any questions, Diane, did you have anything to add about the presentation?
No, great job, Jess. I can't think of anything to add other than grades. I think one of the most important things that we need students to remember is to start looking at supervisors, go to our website, see what their research area is and if it applies to something that you're thinking of doing, and then start reaching out to those supervisors. That's a very key component of getting into the program, because you have to have a supervisor. And I think Jess is probably going to talk to you a little bit about some information sessions and things that we're going to be doing later on that will also help you with those decisions.
Yeah, so as Diane mentioned, we do have our departmental information session coming up shortly on November 12th. And so if you want more details on everything that we've discussed here, we will have our director and a couple of our graduate coordinators present to answer any questions. And we'll also be hosting a scientist and student coffee chat in which students are actually able to ask questions to some potential supervisors who are currently looking for students. And so, as you mentioned, like a supervisor, securing a supervisor early is your best chance of getting into the program. And if you attend our info session on the 12th, you'll definitely have an opportunity to see some of the faculty who are available to take students and who have guaranteed funding. So we highly encourage you to attend if that's something that you're interested in. And overall, you truly get a sense of, I think, RSI as a whole, as we'll also have student representatives, and you'll meet pretty much the entire executive team. So if you're interested, please visit our website. It's located on the poster on the screen, and you can RSVP with the web form. And hopefully we see you again or with more questions at November 12th.
Okay, if there's no other questions, do you want to end it off?
Yeah, so if you do have further questions afterwards, you can always email us. My email is jessica.boafo@rsi. Oh, sorry, jessica.boafo@utoronto.ca or rsi.director. And you can also visit our website for further information of anything that we've mentioned here, including the information session. Or you can give us a call with the number on the screen. And we also highly encourage you to follow us on our social media. Twitter is our predominant platform. And then you get a little more of a more personal idea of what RSI has to offer. And yeah, that's about it. We appreciate for those who view this and who saw the presentation live. And I'll leave it to Diane in case she has anything else to end it off. But other than that, that's about it.
Oh, I'm good.